Greetings, true believers, Drill Pal Spider-Man. Good morning, Cadre. It's KJ. We're going to do another sample shave. Today, I've got the rest of my sample of Jeeves of Hudson Street Abyss. Right off the bat, it's rose, I'll tell you that. So if you don't like rose, then steer clear of this one. It's supposed to be rose and chocolate as the primary notes. I'm not sure right now off the sample if I'm getting the chocolate. Also has patchouli, oud, saffron, truffle, and moss in it. It's not, definitely I just am getting primarily the rose. Anything else that I'm getting in the background, I can't really detect exactly what it is. It's just, there is something else in there. Haven't used a bore in quite a while, so I'm going to go ahead and use my smog bore. Bob had posted one of his cheap brushes on one of the threads on the Shaving Cadre forum, and it was the "What's your cheapest brush?" and he had a smog brush that I think he said he paid like 10 or 11 bucks for. And it was a bore and a real workhorse, so it just struck me that it's been a while since I've used a bore. I'm not sure if I've ever used a bore with Jeeves soaps. The Jeeves are one of my favorite soaps. Love the face feel from these soaps. A little bit of the chocolate's coming through. I'm not sure. Maybe some of the patchouli or the oud. Can't really tell. The rose is very dominant. I cannot wait for February to be over. I can get a new blade. And never, ever use a Parker blade again. Really focusing on just riding the cap and trying to negate some of the roughness of this blade. I don't know why, if it's just me, but a lot of people say it's their favorite blade, or at least one of. But it was rated pretty high, so that's why I picked it for my one blade February, and it's just not working for me. If you regularly watch my videos, I probably sound like a broken record, because that's about the only thing I can say about this blade every time I shave. Luckily, it's a short month. But that's why we do the one blade February in February, because it is a short month. Originally, when one blade February started, it was for Persona 74s. Because back then it wasn't common for people to push blades and get a lot of shaves with a single blade. So a few days up to maybe a week was about all anybody would push a blade. But the Persona 74s were different and were known for their longevity, with people saying that they could get 20 to maybe 30 days with a blade. And somebody had a stockpile of some Persona 74s and decided to see if they could go the whole month of February with them, and decided to piff a blade out to anybody that wanted to join him, but they had to commit to using the blade for the whole month. So that was the genesis of One Blade February. And then the next year, they did it again, but opened it up to anybody who wanted to try the same thing with any blade. And I think that is where we kind of got on another site, the Excalibur Club, which was a group for people to talk about different blades that they've used and the longevity that they get from them. And so I would usually participate in the One Blade February, and then if it was still a good blade at the end of the month, I would just keep using it and keep track of my uses until it finally gave out. So one month I decided to use a feather, and first time I ever used a feather, it ended up lasting me over 2 months. I got 66 shaves with it. And then, to prove it wasn't a fluke, I did it again a year or two later. I don't remember exactly if it was the next year or not. And that one lasted me 115 shaves. I know there's people out there that have used a blade for to a year. I would say that a month is probably average for me for any blade that I use. My go-tos are Pashanas and feathers and Vashgods are kind of my go-to blades. I also got in a trade I got 100 packs of Gillette Silver Blues and Pole Silvers, and I just don't get as good of shades with those. Those are supposed to be some of the highest rated blades, and personally I don't get as good a shade with those as I do with my other ones. Still got some rose hanging out. I can still smell the scent. I don't know, maybe it's from my lather bowl. Let me get this rinsed out and see if that rose is actually still sticking around on my face, or if it's this the lather in my brush and bowl. Really did enjoy the boar brush. You know, when you get a boar and you get it well broken in, they feel just as soft. Excuse me. They feel just as soft as a badger brush. It just does take some time to get them broken in, where badgers, they feel soft pretty much right away and don't require a whole lot of break-in period like boars do. In order for the boars to get really soft, the tips need to start splitting, and so that'll take some use before that'll start to happen. Yeah, so there's a little bit of rose scent sticking around. Not really a fan of that, so we're gonna cover it up. I got this sample from Bruce Graybeard on the Shaving Cadre forum, and this is Pashana aftershave. Very strong. This will be my first time using it, but right off the bottle here, the scent is amazingly strong. Probably one of the strongest aftershaves right out of the bottle that I've smelled. This is a mix of patchouli, sandalwood, cedar, and rosemary. I can't say that I'm detecting any rosemary per se. Sandalwood's definitely there. I think I want to say the cedar's definitely there, because it's not just sandalwood that I'm smelling. There's something else mixed with it that's woody, so I gotta say I can smell the sandalwood and the cedar. And I can't say that I'm detecting the patchouli by itself, but there's definitely another like floral note in there. But what this does really remind me of is the vintage Avon aftershaves. I kind of opened them up and sniffed them and compared them to this just out of the bottle, and it definitely shares similar notes with Deep Woods, with Excalibur, with Oland, to a lesser extent Bravo, and what was the other one? Leather. There was a little faint hint of similarity between Leather, but Tribute was the one that matched it most closely. Now not a dead ringer for it, not an exact match, but very similar to Tribute, more so than those other three, but definitely shared similarities with all those. And as far as strength, it's a little bit stronger than the vintage Avon aftershave, which those are well known for being strong and having lots of longevity. I know Bruce said that this one does have a lot of longevity. So we're going to apply this. But if you've ever compared, for anyone that's ever used Avon vintage aftershaves, compared them to just as a subset, compare vintage Avon, compare drugstore aftershaves, compare artisan aftershaves, Avon aftershaves as a whole, they all kind of have a similar base. There's a few of them that don't, like Island Lime is kind of an outcast. Spicy's kind of a little bit of an outcast. There's a few that are kind of out on their own, but the rest of them, they really all kind of smell like they have a similar base, but then they take off from there. And that's what this smells like. It smells like it has that same similar base as Avon. So it's like if you put this in an Avon bottle, no one would know that it wasn't Avon. Like that is it fits perfectly in that group of scents. This thing was a little teeny bit tacky as soon as I put it on, but it dried down real quick, and now my face is real smooth. Definitely strong. But yeah, this is definitely going to last a while. I'm just going to put a little bit. And that, well, I didn't put that. That was only a drop or two, but that dried real quick. So we're going to test this out, see how the longevity goes. I like the smell of it. However, it's close enough to my Avon aftershaves that I don't know that I would want to spend the money on this one. It's an import, and really about the only place you can get it right now is Amazon or eBay. And it looks like you have to pay probably $20 to $25 or more just to get a bottle, because you got to pay for shipping too. It's not one of those that's on Amazon Prime or anything. So you're paying for it to be shipped from overseas. It's really nice, but I'd suggest just getting some of those Avon aftershaves, especially Tribute and Oland. Maybe if you mix those two together, I don't know if it'd be more similar. I've never really mixed any of my Avon stuff together, but it's really in that same wheelhouse as all of those. So I would suggest if you want to try this or get this type of scent, really just hit the antique stores and start looking for old Avon bottles, because that's what I did, and got a big collection of them. So I don't think I wouldn't yeah, it's really close enough that I think that would suffice, as far as even trying it and knowing if you're gonna like it. If you try Tribute and like Tribute and really like it, and then decide you want to splurge on this and get something that's a little bit different, possibly a little bit better, then do that. But you can find those old Avon bottles for anywhere between $2 and $5 a bottle. So super cheap. This is 100 mils, so this is what, 3.4 ounces or something like that. The old Avon bottles, they range anywhere from 4 to 8 ounces. So sometimes you can get an 8-ounce bottle for like $2. So you can't beat that for price. So that's why I love the Avon stuff so much. It's really cheap. But definitely same wheelhouse. So I would suggest going for the Avon stuff first. And Yeah, so I'll do a little bit of a write-up because I don't think Bruce watches my videos, so I'll do a write-up on the forums, reviewing it, and so check for that on the forums. We'll see you on the Shaving Cadre. I'm Spider, and we'll see you later. Bye.